What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Superfriends. This is episode 74. I'm your host, Nick, and I am joined, of course, by Luke.
What's up, guys?
Tim.
How's it going, everyone?
And CJ.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. You're good. How are you guys? How are you? Not
Tired.
just the people in the audience that can't. I was gonna say they can't hear me, but I guess they can hear me. I can't hear them.
Yeah.
That's usually how these things work. Waru knows. We just communicate through telepathy.
God,
Yeah.
all this goddamn small talk, guys.
I know,
Come
sorry.
on.
It's been a whole 5 seconds, and it's pretty
Get
infuriating.
it together, for fuck's sake.
That was hilarious. Last week we talked for 5 minutes apparently before we actually got into like news or something, and some guy left like two like really upset comments because we didn't get to anything right away. So
He was rather flustered.
I keep telling myself that like one day we're just not gonna like respond to individual comments like these in the podcast, and then I also just think like right after I think that, no, probably never.
There's a level of interactivity there, I think. People know that we're listening, we're reading
and
your
it's
stuff.
the joy of being a small podcast, I think, is that we can interact in this way, and if you shit talk us, we'll shit talk you right back. Have fun with that.
no, we're a huge podcast. We're like
massive.
up there with Collider and Screen
Yeah,
Dash.
internationally
we're at 95K.
That's
Pretty
true.
big.
Well, also I was gonna say the channel does not necessarily mean the podcast is big, especially. I mean, the channel just does so much now. It's kind of crazy to think that where we were 3 months ago is not necessarily where we are now, and it's been a wild
year ago.
journey. A year ago was even farther. 2 years ago, man? You remember that?
You know, there is another thing that is pretty good that's boosted us up. You want to mention that, or
I don't know if it's boosted us, but this episode is brought to
monetarily,
you-
possibly?
This episode, not even, no, but this episode is brought to you by
like 2
Loot Crate,
cents.
our amazing friends over at Loot Crate, who hopefully did not hear anything of what I just said.
I'll
So
cut it out.
if you guys don't know Loot, you don't have to. If you guys don't know Loot Crate, it's this amazing subscription service to send you this great box of goodies every single month, with each item relating to a unique monthly theme. And there's a story behind that last sentence that I will tell after I finish this. And it's this crate of incredibly cool stuff. Last month's theme was Primal, with an exclusive Predator t-shirt, a lot of other goodies. I'm looking up what the theme for this month is now, because if you're listening to this, you missed your chance on the Predator stuff. So we're looking for Loot Crate April theme. See, these are the joys of the small podcast. We're not prepared. Loot Crate April 2017 theme.
Oh, it's
spoilers.
Investigate.
The
That's
theme is
weird.
Investigate. Ooh, maybe some Riverdale stuff in there. Oh nope, they're saying it's gonna have stuff from Batman, Jessica Jones, Stranger Things. Wow, that's actually really cool. And the X-Files, which unfortunately just dropped off Netflix. So maybe if you need to kind of fill that void. But that's a pretty good lineup. Jessica Jones, maybe. I mean, she's a private detective, I guess. I was going to say maybe the odd person. Stranger Things, maybe the odd person out there. But you've got until the 19th of April to get your hands on the Investigate box with Tim, which Tim, I don't think I'm going to mess up this time. I think I'll remember next week that
well,
it's
you
not
didn't
Primal.
mess it up this time because you looked it up specifically for it.
I did. I will cherish that memory and the memory of you chastising me every time. So actually, what you can do to get that box even cheaper is just go to our exclusive link, www.trylootcrate.com/hybridnetwork, and use our promo code BRIDGE10. Take 10% off any subscription. Grab that Investigate box. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below.
I just wanted to mention too, for this podcast, we are going to be trying some different things because people have noticed, even like amongst ourselves, that the topics are kind of getting a little stale. All we do really is just kind of talk about like news on the topics, and then we have questions at the end. So what we wanted to do was kind of bring back some of the stuff and the ideas that we had initially when we were going to start Super Friends, which is to kind of talk about comics for a portion of the episode, then like the movie stuff, TV shows, and then obviously do the viewer questions at the end, which is why we're going to have these kind of 4 segments, I guess you could say, hopefully that will continue going forward, and maybe possibly adding another one in the future if we find something interesting. But yeah, the first segment is going to be talking about the comics. So for this week's episode, we actually do want to talk about a new event that was revealed for Rebirth called Dark Days, which is going to be kicking off with a one-shot, I believe. What's the name of the first comic that comes out? I think Jim Lee's doing the art or something.
Dark Days,
The
the
Forge.
Forge.
Yeah.
The Forge.
Yeah, there's gonna be 2 one-shots. The first one's the Forge, and then
The casting.
second one's the casting. Yeah.
Yeah. And so these come out in June or something like that. They start in June, I
Yes.
think. or
One's
something.
June, one's July.
Yeah, so then I'm guessing the actual event itself will start after that, or possibly in July itself. Just in terms of the actual details that we have surrounding it so far, it's going to be kind of tying into some of the mystery that Scott Snyder set up in his Batman run, I think, in the early days of that. And I think it is a Batman-centric kind of story, right?
That's what it
said.
is implied to be, but it hasn't been directly stated one way or the other.
So, I mean, it kind of seems like that, just given the creative talent on the book. Everybody involved, or the books, I should say, everybody involved is involved with Batman in some way or another, and has been. Snyder's comments about the arc kind of make it seem like it has ties to the beginning of his run on Batman way back in 2011. So it kind of seems like it's going to be Batman-centric, but it doesn't outright say that in the press release. In fact, it says it involves the entire DC universe. And kind of actually from what Tynion says, it's about taking what's been going on in the Batman books and basically bringing it to the rest of the DC universe, whatever that means. But actually, do you guys have any idea what that might mean? I know I haven't, outside of like Nightwing, I haven't really been keeping up with anything Bat Family since that first arc of Detective Comics ended.
No, Batman, the I Am Bane.
I Am Bane.
Yeah.
I've
been keeping up with that.
I need to read
I'm enjoying I Am Bane a lot.
Tom
really
King has finally won you over.
No.
Join our army.
I wasn't too into I Am Suicide. I thought I Am Gotham was okay. I am really liking I Am Bane, but that's only just
I Am
because last
Suicide
issue...
is one of the names of the arcs.
It's the second arc, yeah.
I am Suicide, and so can you.
Suicide is
like
badass.
Because he had his own Suicide Squad. There's like a theme of suicide to it, but it wasn't the greatest. But I Am Bane I love because Bane literally beats up everyone in Arkham Asylum. And
As Bane
I don't know why Solomon Grundy is in Arkham, but he beats up Solomon Grundy, so there you go.
He was born on a Monday, but he's a burden on tax-paying society.
Bane does
on
not
Tuesday.
have nightmares. Bane gives people nightmares.
I mean, so that's like the...
He's crazy. He thinks he's a swamp monster.
There you go. But I'm not sure that really... The image they released with that is like this huge statue, so it's Batman looking up at a very large statue of... I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, that looks like some evil Batman thing.
Yeah,
like
it kind of
Owlman
looks
or
like
something.
Owlman to me, but it's... I was thinking maybe just... I mean, Batman got some sweet Injustice gear
It looks like
from that loot
Etrigan.
system.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, but he
Well,
definitely
no,
has,
I
like,
know it's
the-
Batman. It just looks like Etrigan.
It seems like a weird, like... I mean, if you're looking at this, it seems like a weird, almost, like, dystopian future where, like, Batman's become, like, a dictator.
Yeah.
There are Batman flags in the background, little Batman sentry bots running around everywhere.
Well, I guess that does make sense. It does. They did say that Dark Days would contain revelations for the past, present, and future of the DC universe.
Yeah, Luke, what do you think about just the event as a whole so far? Like what we're getting, this little teaser thing.
It sounds pretty cool. This is like going to be the first like really like big thing, I think, in terms of like the DC universe as a whole, because so far we've been getting a bunch of mini events, and this implies it's Batman centric, but it seems like it's a little bit bigger in scale than the previous stuff that we've gotten so far.
Yeah. Those things aren't necessarily like mutually exclusive either. I think it can still center around Batman as most things tend to do. But I mean, if just looking at this, if Batman is like a dictator in the future, it could be like a Christmas in July type special where he's visited by the ghosts of DC Universe, past, present, and future. This is what happens, Batman. You become a dictator, and he's like, nice. I don't know.
Where are my guns?
The question I was going to ask you guys is, do you think this is related at all to the Watchmen stuff? Because it kind of, from what Snyder was saying, is this is something he's been hinting at and dropping little Easter eggs for, dating all the way back to the beginning of his run on Batman in 2011. And we know if it is Dr. Manhattan, if it's not, we don't. It hasn't been officially revealed yet, I guess. that's been mucking around in the DC universe and maybe not creating the new 52. That would certainly go back all the way to Snyder's run in 2011, or where it began in 2011. Do you guys think this ties into the Watchmen stuff at all?
It seems like, I don't know, because again, what he says, it seems like it's something a little bit more personal that he's been building himself. But they could try and sprinkle something like it in there. I feel like they would kind of need to.
I'd really love it if it's just revealed that he, Kaiser Soze DC. It's like he just been referencing things, for, years. It's like every couple of issues just dropping hints. And then, they sit back. It's like Dan Didio just sits back drinking his coffee, rests his, does the old one cheek on the desk and just takes a sip of the coffee and, realizes and just drops the cup and it shatters. Meanwhile, Scott Snyder just limps out of the precinct where Zack Snyder picks him up in a car. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Jeff Johns.
His son,
it
Zack
could
Snyder.
make sense that it's tied into the Watchmen stuff. I mean, that Batman Flash event where they're investigating the Button comes out in April, so it'll only be 2 months off from it, so it would make sense that they're tied in.
Well, it's one of those things where it's I could see it. My gut tells me the Watchmen stuff is going to be resolved by then, but at the same time, my head tells me that doesn't make sense because we've had literally almost no action on the Watchmen thing for the last 8 months that DC Rebirth has been around, and I kind of don't really expect it to be wrapped up in the next 4. Yeah, it certainly could if they want to if they were just doing a slow burn.
Didn't they say Rebirth was supposed to be a 2-year-long thing?
Yeah,
That's
2-year
definitely
story.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect it to be resolved.
So they got
this
1
soon.
year left.
There you go. Been a good
What
ride.
have they done in this first year that's not working?
That's true. They actually haven't done anything.
They
really haven't had
acknowledged that
anything.
Abracadabra was the one who took Wally West out of the timeline.
Dr. Oz has been kidnapping people, I guess.
Tim
That's the
Drake.
thing.
Josh is still in tears. Josh is holding a candlelight vigil, actually, every day.
Yeah, what's Shazam
keep-
doing? Is he just eating hot dogs in his
Not there.
apartment and just?
He's
He's
having a
waiting to-
non-stop hot dog eating contest since Rebirth started.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just waiting
Since-
for Papa John's.
Yeah.
Just to, I guess, cap off this segment here really quick, there is going to be apparently more story details coming out from WonderCon, Fan Expo Dallas, and C2E2, which all take place, I think, those should all happen by, June-ish or something.
Yeah, we should know more.
Okay.
When's
Right
WonderCon?
before
'Cause I know
the
you're
comic
going to
comes
that.
out, I think.
You're going to that, Nick, right?
WonderCon? Yeah, it's next week, I think.
Next week. All right, so we might have more info for you in a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Man on the inside.
There you
Woo.
Yeah, I'll have Snyder on here and talking to him and be like, no.
There you go.
It'll
Scott.
be Zack Snyder though.
Yeah, we had to
Oh.
settle.
The wrong
we had
one.
to settle. Different Snyder.
Yeah, so, speaking of the DCEU, though, we do have a lot of movie news to go over this week. So, first up, we do have some stuff regarding the Batman movie. Apparently, Deathstroke and Gordon are up in the air right now. We don't know if they're actually going to be in the movie in the current stage it's in, so... a little interesting, because we talked about this before, saying that Deathstroke was probably going to be a done deal, since they got, the actor, and he's gearing up to do it. Why would they not have him in it? But now he's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be in it, so kind of interesting.
a weird
CJ, what do
situation.
you think about this?
Well, when we made the news flash for the Deathstroke news, just reading more into it, watching the video itself, I've seen a lot of people speculate after that. So it was basically, the revelation came on this morning show. So Joe Manganiello is from Pittsburgh, and it was on this Pittsburgh morning show, and they were talking to him about the Smurfs, which is a movie that he's in. Believe it or not, he's going to go from the Smurfs to Deathstroke. Yes. But so he's in the Smurfs, and they were talking about the Smurfs, and the hostess kind of goes like, "Oh, I understand you've got another upcoming role. You're going to play Deathstroke in the Batman movie, is that right?" And he goes, "Maybe. Well, we'll see." And that was it. That was all he said on the wonderful Joe Manganiello impression, by the way, if I do say so myself. But that was all he said, and so I've seen a lot of people saying that question might not have been what he was expecting. Maybe he was just told it was going to stick to the Smurfs. But if we take it at face value, if we take it at what it is with no... It's like, yeah, we're still working on the script. We don't know when we're going to shoot, It kind of just seemed out of place in terms of the larger interview where he was actually, actively talking about and engaging on other topics. You know, it didn't seem like he wanted to talk about it. It didn't seem like, you know, so it kind of seemed like a genuine, like, we'll see. But, you know, it's one of those things where Matt Reeves is rewriting the script right now, so who knows? I'd expect that he's still going to be in the movie because they've cast him. They got the cameo in Justice League to set him up from what reports say. Might be a situation where they just don't know.
Okay. Luke, any thoughts on this update?
Kind of what CJ said. It's a little weird because before he was like, you know, going on and on about like, oh yeah, it's filming so-and-so, I can't wait, it's going to be great. Again, I guess I probably could have expected that they might not use Deathstroke, but because I know that they're going to want to rewrite it, but I feel like they would give like, look, we hired this guy for this movie, can you please keep him in the script some way? Like, can we not just shove him to the side? We like casted him and everything. It was official. Fucking Ben Affleck put a video out on Twitter. Please don't take him out. So, I don't know. I feel like he's still going to be in it in some capacity, but I think it's just a case of they're rewriting it and they haven't really updated people to do with it yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's kind of up in the air. They're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with the movie. So, if he's saying we'll see, then it's probably correct. We will see. So, yeah. Tim, what do you think, though?
No. I think he'll probably still be in it in some capacity. He may end up being in it in the same capacity that Joker was in Suicide Squad, where if it weren't for the fact that he had to transport a character from one location to another, he could be completely cut out.
Maybe Deathstroke is the mastermind behind this whole movie.
We'll see what happens, because we don't know what the new script is going to be like, but I feel like if they casted him at this point and they've already like cemented it down with a few different things, then I don't get why they would cut him out entirely from it.
Yeah, and just touching on the Jim Gordon thing really quickly too, I think that might actually not happen, but it's only because supposedly I'm guessing it's just because JK initially was like, okay, yeah, they're going to shoot the movie in spring or summer or whatever, but now they're pushing it back to next year, so, I mean, he might be busy, who knows, at that point.
I was thinking it's more, because this came out, like, the day after the Joe Manganiello news. I was thinking it might have just been something, like, where he's in a similar boat, like, maybe he just hasn't heard anything in a while.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in the same boat Joe is. That'd be a damn shame.
He was saying how, like, he's just basically a really tiny part in Justice League, and he was gonna... You know, he's just kind of waiting to hear back, like, what he's going to show up in next, so I guess, yeah.
Exactly.
Alright, I guess to move on, though, apparently Warner Brothers is going to premiere some kind of new DCEU footage at WonderCon next week, because they have a whole, like, panel listing. There's going to be, like, a Warner Brothers general panel. I think it's, like, an hour and a half or 2 hours or something, and it does say that DC Entertainment Films will be there, so I'm guessing Wonder Woman?
I would say that for sure. Maybe like another Justice League like trailer teaser with a full trailer to be revealed at some point in the future.
Trailer teaser?
Another trailer teaser. Love those things.
No, like trailer tease, remember?
That's true. Trailer tease.
Yeah,
I feel like for Wonder Woman at this point, haven't we gotten 3 trailers for it?
I think 4.
4? Yeah. So honestly, they might do Wonder Woman stuff. I more so expect them to do Justice League at this point, since Wonder Woman's like 2 months out at this point. It comes out in June or July. I forget which.
It's June, but it's
I've seen too much. Take it back.
Yeah. So once we hit April, it'll be 2 months out.
Yeah. I thinking that for Wonder Woman they'll show a clip, because I've been to these Warner Brothers panels before, and I remember before, I can't think what movie it was, but they just showed clips at them and stuff for the footage.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a scene, like maybe a longer version of like the scene where like Chris Pine like washes up on the beach, or maybe something where, you know, maybe her interacting with the Amazons, because that's something that people have said they wanted to see more of.
Yeah, they'll show a scene and it'll confirm the email thing.
That's true. They'll show the framing device.
Finally.
I'll jump off the nearest building. But
Didn't El Mayimba tweet out like I think yesterday or today? He's like, "Oh, it's finally spring, so that means we'll be getting a Justice League trailer within the month or something."
Yeah,
like
within the next 30 days is what he said. And I'm not sure if that's just... That's something I feel like you can easily distance yourself from, but
yeah,
we'll see.
He's like, "We'll get it within the next 3 months." Like, oh,
Cool.
We'll get it sometime between now and
Solid
Justice League
reporting.
release.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say too. I was like, we'll get it.
We'll have a trailer. We'll have a trailer
Before
within
November.
the year.
before November
mean-
we'll have one.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty pleased with how they're pacing with Justice League. I know so many people want a trailer, but I feel like that was actually... We've gotten that teaser. We got that teaser, I guess, but it's... Yeah. I think they've kept the people hungry, and like usually we've gotten like full trailers before now, so I'm kind of pleased with how DC's handled that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe that's just what happens when you've got like more movies on the slate that are coming out that you can show trailers for. Like
That's what happens when you announce 15 movies with no updates or anything.
Please,
I was about to say, what slate?
That's a great thing
no
that John Campy was talking about on Collider Movie Talk this week. He was like, well, they're now on Plan B. And I was like, well, yes, we knew this. But the question is, when do they show us Plan B?
Hopefully at
they're on
San
phase
Diego
1.
Comic-Con they'll announce a new slate so we can actually get some like breakdown of the timeline.
Please. Please.
They show
Can't
us
wait
the
for
slate.
Deadshot to get announced with the little logo.
Nothing
It's
but
literally-
Suicide Squad sequels.
I want their
and
new
spin-offs.
timeline to just be like every month a new movie.
Add a
Every
new
month
movie, just
we'll
squeeze a
announce
new
we're
graphic into there.
You know what? Even better, Tim. Every month they'll announce a new movie. How about that?
Does that
No
get you
release, it's
excited,
just
Tim?
a-
You know,
It's just-
Do you like that?
speaking of a lot of DC movies, according to Variety's Justin Kroll, there is going to be another DC movie shooting this year because, as we know, Aquaman is the only one slated to begin this year, and that's pretty much the only one that's going to come out next year, as we can see foreseeable future. But there are 5 films that are being considered to shoot this year, and those are Sirens, Flash, Green Lantern, Suicide Squad 2, and Dark Universe. So, out of those 5, which movie do you want to see actually go into production this year? CJ, let's go.
Wait, which one do I want to see, or which one do I think is going to go
That's
into
what I was gonna
production?
ask too.
Yeah, I think, I guess
I
we
can
could
do
just
both.
do the both, yeah.
I can do both. Which movie do I want to see? I'd like to see... I'd honestly love for Flash to get going, just because I think they got the cast there, or at least a good chunk of the main characters already rounded out. They've got... Well, I was going to say they have a director, but no, they literally don't.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if they had gotten a new director yet.
No.
Nope,
That's why
not
I
yet.
think it's a little more unlikely. And in terms of which one I think will film this year, I think Gotham City Sirens, because you've already got a lot of the pieces in place in terms of David Ayer and Margot Robbie, and I think those are their 2 top priorities. The casting I don't think is going to take that much longer. My guess is they're just waiting on a script, and I think we'll hear before too long that is going to start filming.
Yeah, definitely. Since they
Within
only
a
take
couple
6
months.
weeks, we'll hear within the
Yeah,
next week.
I mean, Ayer's probably almost already done. It's like
Done
cut
deal.
to. He's gonna look like that episode of Always Sunny where Charlie's figured out the conspiracy. He's got the script on the walls.
I thought you were gonna say when he wrote The Nightman, and he's like yelling at everybody.
They took you, Nightman.
Yeah.
This is your sexy hands.
Tim, what's your picks though? What do you want to see? What do you think will happen?
Of those movies, yeah, I'd probably say I'd want the Flash to move forward just so we could get some forward momentum on that, because it feels like it's stalled for a while. But probably Gotham City Sirens is gonna be the one that takes the spot.
Alright, Luke, what do you choose?
I would like Justice League Dark because we haven't heard anything on that, and I'd like to hear that it still exists. But Gotham City Sirens, I think, is gonna get it.
Alright, I choose Green Lantern, and I think it will be Sirens too, so...
Did we sweep for Sirens? Did we get the 4 for 4?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It'll blow everyone's expectations. It'll be Suicide Squad 2 begins next week.
It'll be Green Lanterns. We wrote
So-
the script in a week.
I would say it would be. I would say it would be Suicide Squad 2, but I think just the fact that they don't quite have a director yet, and then
No, Mel
that's when the
Gibson,
whole
he's on
process
board.
a script. I wish maybe that's what they'll announce at WonderCon. I think that would be your dream if they announced Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
at
Mel walks
WonderCon.
out drunk.
There you go.
He didn't know he was supposed to be.
Says something like super anti-Semitic and just walks off stage. Crowd
He's past
surfs
that,
out
man.
of there.
Yeah. All right. So moving on though to our next segment, TV time. We actually have a pretty interesting news topic to go over. So apparently, The Flash season 4 won't feature a speedster villain this time around, according to Andrew Kreisberg, who has said
Should know.
questionable things in the past here and there. But
I don't know, that scooper, Andrew Kreisberg, he says he's got sources inside the production, but I don't believe him.
yeah, I don't know. It's just some
When
regular.
has he ever been honest with us? What would
Yeah.
he know?
And
For those of you that are confused, Andrew Kreisberg, he's the showrunner, isn't he? Or
Yeah,
is he
he's
one
like
of the writers.
writer, producer,
He's-
all this stuff. Yeah.
So close.
Caterer.
He did kind of like he did kind of like drop a little hint too about the whole Savitar thing. He's like, yeah, we've been playing this for a while, apparently. So that might be the whole future Barry thing right there. I don't know, but
Maybe that would actually
evil
be
Barry.
great.
But yeah, just going back to the whole speedster thing. I guess I'm glad that they're not doing that because it's been like 3 seasons now, literally. And I don't know why they haven't done this yet already, because it made the most sense, like, going after season 2, just do the rogues, but then, Captain Cold died, so
Nope.
that became difficult, I guess you could say. So
Well, the thing that
just-
made it difficult wasn't the fact Captain Cold died, it was that they signed on 2 of the main members of the Rogue to be main cast members and heroes on another show.
yeah.
There you go. And that was it. And also just the fact they've pretty much done the rogues fairly shittily.
Yeah, exactly.
They've set them. I mean, and it's not like it can't be undone with a little bit of that old CW magic. Just
Yeah,
quickly
What
tying
magic?
plot threads.
I think the
Probably
thing that
wishful
killed the
thinking.
Rogues for me was when they did the crossover for Invasion and Flash worked alongside Mick without any issue.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is it's not like they can't tie all the shit together with like that CW magic being just creating the plot in like 2 sentences of exposition, but I was just saying it's like from where they have all of the rogues at, they're just nowhere near like the same trajectory.
Yeah, it'll be season 5's villain.
Yeah, maybe
Damn.
not ever.
6.
Well, honestly, the only way I can see it happening is if Legends get cancelled.
Not maybe out of the question, because the ratings have continued to just drop.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a negative Nancy.
Don't want to be a
Commenters.
Debbie Downer.
A Debbie Downer, but sorry, when you move the show from Thursday because it's not performing to Tuesday, to back. What actually did they have it go before or after Flash?
No, it's
I think they
after
were having-
Flash, before
Yeah, they were having the
Shield, so-
Flash lead in. The Flash lead in. Your most successful show is going to lead into this struggling show, and what did it do? It dropped both of their ratings.
You
People don't wanna
ruined the
watch-
Flash!
People don't want to watch Legends so much. They don't watch The Flash.
They
Just in
don't
case
watch
they
The Flash.
accidentally lose the remote and have to watch the first 5 minutes.
Just
They
in case
might
they see a
splice
glimpse.
Legends into this episode. We can't take the risk.
They don't even want to see. They don't even want to see your teaser for it's Legends of Tomorrow in 5 minutes. No.
Yeah,
No.
so who do you guys want to see as the season 4 villain though? If it's not going to be a speedster, like who could you see being the villain?
I really think Grodd
Yeah.
deserves the spot to
Absolutely.
me.
Grodd.
I think it's kind of you're checking off the list of like it's like Barry's greatest enemies, and it's so you've got you've handled Reverse Flash, you've done Zoom, you're handling Savitar now, who might not even crack the list of greatest enemies, especially because he's really one of Wally's greatest enemies. He wasn't all that great, except for that glorious mustache. But it's one of those things where Grodd is really such a great villain. He just needs to not be confined to like 3 episodes over the course of your 3 seasons. Like, dedicate a whole maybe not even like a whole season to him. But it's one of those things.
he needs to use a banana cannon.
Please,
Yeah,
But it's
turn everyone in the world into bananas.
It's one of those things where like you look at like how they do like Savitar. It's like Savitar's not in every episode. Like he's the backdrop of every episode, but I mean you could get some War for the Planet of the Apes shit going on.
Yeah, use real apes in suits like they did in the old movies.
Just use like the Phoenix Suns mascot. Just a dude in a gorilla suit.
For the banana beam, I meant like it fires high-powered bananas. Like
it kills people by dosing them with a lethal amount of potassium.
Damn him! Damn that Grodd!
Yeah,
but
I guess like another option they could do if they could manage it. It might be cool if they did like the Trickster as a main villain.
All right. Before we get on to our last segment here, do we want to plug something really quickly?
I think we do want to mention that this episode is brought to you by Loot Crate, that amazing subscription service that sends you a unique... I was thinking about it because I told the story and I'm flipping the line already. But they send you this great box of geeky goodies that all relate to a unique monthly theme. And you can actually get any subscription 10% cheaper just by using our exclusive link, www.trylootcrate.com/hybrid network, and the promo code BRIDGE10. This month's theme is Investigate, so if you want some really cool stuff relating to Batman, Jessica Jones, Stranger Things, and X-Files, which just went off Netflix as I mentioned, if you want something related to all of those things, which let's be honest, who doesn't, just use that link and that promo code. Once again, BRIDGE10. There's going to be a link down in the description below. Get all that cool stuff for even cheaper.
Yeah, so with that said...
There's another gorilla they could use.
God damn it.
Yeah, with that said, let's move on to
our gorilla costumes.
There you go.
Our viewer questions for this episode. First question's from Scott Applier Pop Cult Fan. He says, comparing the Wonder Woman movie with Justice League movie, which film do you guys think will be more successful? So this is kind of like a two-part... Well, this is like it's like critically successful, financially successful thing. You know.
What if I think neither will be successful? Heel turn. That's right.
Is it really a heel
Crucified
turn at
in
this
the comments.
point?
I mean, for me, kind of.
I feel like they'll make money at the very least. Justice League more than Wonder Woman because she's getting just slammed by like a bunch of other fucking movies.
Yeah, that's not a heel turn. That's a 360.
There you go. I turned around and then I turned back around.
She's got Wonder Woman's getting gangbanged on all sides.
Oh, yeah. See, I was waiting for you to say what she was up against, and then I was gonna make that joke, but Tim beat me to it. He came quicker.
Yeah, she just Captain Underpants on one side, and
Tupac on the other.
So,
I mean,
I don't know. I feel like Justice League financially would be more successful, but
I feel like Wonder Woman is probably going to be the better reviewed movie. I don't want to say like anything like super negative about Justice League because I still don't know because we still haven't gotten a trailer, but I think Justice League probably is going to make more money in the end.
Yeah, I feel along the same lines there. Wonder Woman will probably get better reviews to some degree. I don't know how either will end up, so I don't know what that degree will be, but I'm confident Justice League will be more financially successful.
Alright, so I guess that does conclude episode 74 of Super Friends, and if you guys want to get your questions answered on next week's show, just leave them down below with the hashtag #SuperFriends, and you can find me on social media at who's_Nick on Twitter. Where can people find you at, CJ?
At CJ Pascal, just C and J and PASCHALL. I was going to say you can find it on an H&N video, but those would be pretty hard to find.
Okay. Luke does not have social media, and...
I actually do now.
Oh. Why?
Am I following you?
One. No, you're not.
No.
Well, you are, but I made a different one.
Oh. Ooh, so you've just revealed your secret identity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leak you. I'm gonna oust you to the public.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at HybridLurk.
Hybrid
Lurk,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm following you right now. I'm gonna retweet everything.
Tim, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at Aussie Dragoon, AUSSIEDRAGOON.
Okay. So thank you guys again for checking out the show, and we will catch you guys next week.
Adios.
Later.